All right, everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA. This is my stimulus update for Monday, April 27th. Okay, so first thing, we have a new poll on the channel. Go ahead and vote in that about the current state of your stimulus. Now, like I've said the past few days, the Get My Payment tool has been updated. So try it again, give it another shot if you'd had issues with it before. I've already seen a ton of comments saying yes, Get My Payment tool is working better for you, and I'm so happy about that. Others are asking a lot of questions about the Get My Payment tool, and I'm going to answer just a ton of those general questions about the Get My Payment tool in just a minute that some are still asking. But first, let's talk about these Trump letters. You remember how I told you that the IRS said they'd be mailing out letters to you up to 15 days after your stimulus payment is sent, right? Well, some people have received those letters already. And look, I had speculated in my head that it would be, some kind of official looking IRS type notice thing. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever received mail from the IRS. I thought it may have these detailed instructions on what to do if you don't get your stimulus or you don't get the right stimulus, but it's really not like that at all. It's actually kind of just a raw letter from Trump. It's not super over the top, but it's not the most informative piece of mail either. So, and who knows if Trump was actually behind this or if it was Mnuchin or who knows, right? But anyway, it's on White House letterhead. It's got Trump's name and signature at the bottom. I'll put the full text of the letter in the description below, but basically as an overview, the first paragraph is just saying how hard the government is working to help Americans right now. Second paragraph is basically just describing the CARES Act at a high level. Third paragraph just says part of the CARES Act is fast and direct economic assistance to you. Fourth paragraph is describing the amount of your payment and the method of your payment. So for example, it might say you are receiving an economic impact payment of $1,200 by direct deposit or whatever it is, as the case may be. Next couple paragraphs just basically say that America is amazing, and then you have Trump's signature and his name. And then at the very bottom it says, for more information on your economic impact payments, please visit irs.gov/coronavirus or call 800-919-9835. I called this 800 number earlier today, and it's basically just voice recordings with information. You can press buttons depending on your particular situation, but I couldn't really find a way to connect with an actual human, nor did I expect to. Alright, so I want to knock out the remaining Get My Payment tool questions that I saw in the comments. I'm not answering anyone in particular's comments here because several people asked similar questions, okay? So let's get into it. First question, I'm on Social Security, can I use the Get My Payment tool? So apparently now the Get My Payment tool is updated for those who receive SSA 1099 or RRB 1099. So Social Security Retirement, SSDI, and Railroad Retirement, right? We knew that this tool was not updated for those groups previously, but now, according to the IRS, they say that individuals in these groups will be able to use the Get My Payment tool to check the status of your payment after you verify your identity by answering the required security questions, okay? But you can't use the tool to change your payment information, all right? Your stimulus will just go to wherever you get your monthly benefits. However, supplemental security income, veterans benefits, all right, VA compensation and pension. IRS says that Get My Payment is not yet updated for you, so you can't even check the status of your stimulus in there. All right, next up, just FYI, this is just an FYI. If the IRS has outdated bank information on file for you, they say that they can't update your direct deposit information, okay? So if the IRS attempts to make a deposit at a closed bank account or an incorrect bank account or a temporary account associated with a refund advance product or a prepaid debit card you got your refund on, the payment will be rejected and returned to the IRS. And the IRS has said at that point, the payment will be automatically mailed to the address on your 2019 or 2018 tax return or the address on file with the United States Postal Service if it's more updated than the address on your tax return. IRS also said there was in fact a glitch with the Get My Payment tool that indicated that after they tried to make the stimulus payment to a closed or otherwise improper account, the first time, according to the Get My Payment tool, it said they were going to try it again the next week, right? And many of you saw that to the same bad account. That's an issue we talked about before. MetaBank, we talked about MetaBank's complaint to the IRS last week. Well, the IRS has come out and said that the Get My Payment tool is now fixed for that, and those payments will actually be mailed. It kind of sucks. I would have hoped that people in that situation and other similar situations would have been able to update their bank account on the Get My Payment tool. IRS seemed to hint earlier on that you would be able to do that, but the Get My Payment tool was so glitchy that many people actually never had the chance to update their direct deposit information. And now it might be too late. If you see that the IRS has already processed your payment on the Get My Payment tool via paper check, that's it. You can't change it at this point. All right, so some of you have also said that in the bank account information screen that you see in the Get My Payment tool, you see a number that either is or looks similar to your social security number. Well, if you receive your refund via prepaid card through your tax preparer or some other circumstance, right? In some cases, your preparer or software may have used a temporary bank account number similar to your social security number, if not matching it exactly. So unfortunately, it sounds like, if this sounds familiar, then you're in that group of people I just spoke about. There was a temporary bank account associated with your refund advance or prepaid debit card you got your refund on, and that temporary bank account in some cases, apparently, maybe it's set in some algorithm or something used by the preparer or software, but apparently sometimes they use your social security number or a number similar to your social security number for the temporary bank account number. IRS says, look, this payment will be rejected. You'll get a paper check, okay? Next question. What if I applied my 2019 refund toward my 2020 estimated taxes, okay? Or my 2018 refund toward my 2019 estimated taxes, okay? What should I enter in the Get My Payment tool when it asks for my refund amount? In this case, you should only indicate in the tool the amount of your actual refund, not the overpayment applied to the next year, okay? So if your total overpayment of tax for tax year 2019 was $1,000, okay, and you applied $700 to next year's 2020's taxes, okay, that means you got a refund, an actual payment to your bank account or paper check of the difference, so $300. So you would put the $300, okay, not the $1,000, not the $700, the $3,000, okay. Similarly, if your overpayment was $1,000 and you applied it all to the next year, you would put 0, okay, because you didn't actually get a refund. IRS literally tells you on its website what lines to pull your information from. Line 21A of your 2019 tax return or line 20A of your 2018 tax return. Now, if you filed 2019 and it's been processed, try 2019. If the 2019 amount doesn't work, try 2018, okay? Another question, what if I neither owed or received a refund on my tax return? What should I enter to submit my bank information? So if you broke even on your tax return, that means you didn't have to pay the IRS and you likewise did not receive a refund, okay? So you can select either one. I received a refund or I owed money, and then enter 0 for the refund amount or amount you owed. Next question, when will the Get My Payment tool give me a payment date after I add my bank information? So if you're lucky enough to be able to enter your bank information in the Get My Payment tool, okay, then listen, you can input it until noon on Tuesday, and I assume that's Eastern time, okay? And so if you input it on a Tuesday by noon Eastern time, then your payment date will be available on the IRS Get My Payment tool the following Saturday. So you can check the following Saturday, okay, to see your payment date. So by way of example, if you're someone blessed by the Get My Payment gods and you are able to log into the Get My Payment tool today or tomorrow, Tuesday, April 28th before noon, and like I said, I assume they mean noon Eastern time. If you're able to do that, update your bank account information in there, then the Get My Payment tool should have a payment date for you by this Saturday, May 2nd. But if you input your bank information in the Get My Payment tool after tomorrow, Tuesday, April 28th at noon Eastern time, I'm supposing, right, So let's say you do it at Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or Wednesday or Thursday, all the way up to the next Tuesday, May 5th, before 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the Get My Payment tool should have a payment date for you by next Saturday, okay? Saturday, May 9th, all right? Now, there may be times when your payment may be sent by mail because the payment was already in process before the bank information was entered. Okay, so sometimes you'll still be able to input your bank information, but the IRS is already in the process of processing your payment via mail, in which case, even though you input your bank information, you'll still get a paper check, unfortunately. If this is the case, then it'll probably take up to 14 days to receive the payment. All right, some have asked about the please try again error. If you get this error, it means your account has been locked, which either means that the information you entered does not match the IRS records and they only give you 3 failed login attempts per 24-hour period, or you have already accessed the system 5 times within a 24-hour period, which is the maximum. I know this hasn't always been the case for some of you, but the IRS says that you'll be able to access the application after 24 hours have passed, so please just wait. Now, we've talked about this before, but the IRS says to input your address in the Get My Payment tool to verify your information in a particular way. Now it seems they're saying that if you're not being verified by the Get My Payment tool, just try all the possible address combinations. Here's what they say. You may want to check your most recent tax return or consider if there is a different way to enter your street address. For example, 123 N Main ST versus 123 North Main ST. You may also verify how your address is formatted with the U.S. Postal Service by entering your address in the USPS zip lookup tool and then enter your address into Get My Payment exactly as it appears on file with USPS. Obviously kind of sucks because you only get 3 attempts per 24 hours. And if you live on 2937 Northwest Washington Boulevard, apartment number 21B or something like that, there's got to be so many ways that that address could be inputted, right? Should Boulevard be, BLVD, just BL? Should I write out Northwest or just put NW, right? And to Get My Payment tool, if you click the encircled question mark next to the address field, it tells you a way to do it, but many people have said, hey, it's still not working, and now the IRS is apparently saying, well, just look at your tax return, look at USPS, try everything, right? Now, that was with respect to actually inputting your address information to verify your information to access the Get My Payment tool. Okay, next question is different. Next question is about address changes. What if my address is changed? Look, IRS says if you haven't filed your 2019 tax return, the only way to change your address, at least for stimulus purposes, is to file your 2019 tax return, okay? Oh, and if you have already filed your 2019 tax return, it doesn't sound like, based on the IRS's language, that they're going to let you change it at this point. They say, if you have filed your 2019 tax return and you did not receive a refund via direct deposit, your payment will be mailed to the address we have on file for you. This is generally the address on your most recent return or as updated through the United States Postal Service, okay? Normally, right, you can file a change of address form with the IRS, paper file that, okay? But I seriously doubt that if you file that, it will be processed anytime soon. Probably not in time for you before your stimulus is processed. All right, so that is my update for today. I'm keeping a close eye, obviously, on congressional leaders, what they're saying. Senate will be back in Washington next week, May 4th. They haven't been there since March. And of course, we know that several members of the House have been very vocal about future stimulus legislation, so I'll be keeping an eye on them as well, keeping an eye on the comments for any more questions, especially about the Get My Payment tool. But that's it for right now. Have a great day, everybody.